Hello, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about a question I often receive from teachers and students. A student once listened to a story that included the word hesitate. She understood it then, but after a while, she forgot what it meant. 2 months later, hesitate appeared again in another story. She remembered the sound, but not the meaning. The storyteller explained, gave examples, used gestures and facial expressions, and soon she understood again. Now, was that conscious learning? Was she learning the word hesitate? The answer is no. It was acquisition. Even though students may want to remember new words, even when they consciously notice a word, that moment is still not conscious learning. What matters is what happens after the noticing. When she noticed the word hesitate, her intention wasn't to study it or memorize it. She simply needed to understand the story so she could keep following the meaning. Why does this moment feel like conscious learning? Because she briefly became aware of a word she had heard before. But awareness alone is not study. Noticing by itself does not lead to learning. And remember, acquisition is not the absence of noticing. You still notice words, but your mind stays on the meaning, not on memorizing. Noticing is part of acquisition. Acquisition doesn't mean you stop noticing words. You still become aware of them. Your brain is active, but your attention stays on understanding the message, not on studying the word itself. Conscious learning happens when the mind shifts to the word itself. Acquisition happens when the mind stays on the message. When the storyteller gave comprehension-aiding supplementation, it wasn't a vocabulary lesson. It was a bridge that kept the story flowing. The satisfaction the student felt came from understanding, not from consciously learning a word. When she hears hesitate again later, it may seem like conscious recognition, but it is actually the brain's natural resonance process happening automatically. So, even when students believe they are trying to memorize, real acquisition still happens through meaningful comprehension. That's how true language growth occurs, naturally, through listening and understanding, not by trying to remember every word. Thank you for listening.